Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world today. We're getting our Final Fantasy 14 stream going here. Hey Lily, good to see you this morning. Afternoon where you are, I suppose. And let's see, we left ourselves off in Rodzetheim. We've got to go visit, wait at the location outside Megaduda, it looks like here. We're making our way through the through the Endwalker patches. Excuse me, I think I need that tea. Making our way through the Endwalker patches here. Not sure where we're at here. Do a quick look up here and see if there's any indication. I think we're still in 6.3, but I'm not sure. Asbard. Yeah, it's still 6.3. Okay. Cool. Alright, well let's see. Anyways, we gotta head over near Megaduda, I think. Yerp. Got us a new piece of body gear in that last dungeon that got us up over 600. Yep. And we did finally, off stream, we got our crafters leveled up to 90. Still working on some gear for them, but they just need the crafting primary and secondary tools for my crafters, and primary and secondary for gatherers also. Well, except for, see, what was it, miner? Did I already get one for that? I think I got miner, yeah, and botanist primary tool, but just not the secondary tool. Fisher still doesn't have, doesn't have their fishing rod, but that's okay. We'll do those off stream sometime. And they'll be all ready for whatever the great new expansion happens to be in the future, I guess. May throw some melds onto those too, which is nice. They do allow, there's one you can put on the tool and two on the various pieces of gear. What about the accessories? Don't take any. Oh, those level 80. I still haven't gotten the level 90 accessories yet. Those might allow materia meld on them too, I don't know. And then go try to farm some of the higher level stuff to make some better gear for a dancer here. Alright, well let's see what's going on here. Waiting, and more waiting.
If everyone is ready, then let us depart for Alzadal's legacy.
Whoa.
What was that?
A deluge of ether. The mark of a terrible magic.
It wasn't far from here. Let's go.
Hey, you! Stop!
If you're thinking of taking to sea, don't!
What has happened?
We were out working our nets when a light suddenly shot up over Buffalo Isle with a boom. A massive fiend then took to the skies. Another blasphemy, we feared, but we didn't linger to find out.
Did you see where it was headed?
I can't say for sure, but it looked like it was northward bound.
I see. Our thanks for the warning, and do not let us keep you. Buffalo Isle is connected to Al-Zadal's legacy. This cannot be a coincidence.
In response to Karnyatso's defeat, they have come for our gate.
So it seems. I would ascertain the situation at the vault, but the fiend must be dealt with, ere people come to harm. I shall assume my dragon form and seek it out at once.
Wait. You heard the fisherman. A blasphemy, they called it. If another flying creature was sighted now, others will assume the worst and panic will spread. This is not the way.
We can work together on this.
You are right, Estinian. I will gather my soldiers and search the Isle for casualties. The fiend, I leave to you. The hunt will go more swiftly with help. Zero, might I prevail upon you to accompany her?
Very well. Then Estinian and I will make for Al-Zadar's legacy and secure the gate.
Stay on your guard. The enemy is clever and will have anticipated our response. Be safe, my friends, and may the sisters guide your steps.
We know the fiend was headed north, but that still leaves a lot of ground for us few to cover. We need a way to conduct our search more efficiently. Do you have any ideas? We split up and make inquiries. In other words, we seek help from the locals. If you think it best, then very well. So, where to then? The Great Work and the encampment at the Hamsa Hatchery. If both places are to the north, then the people there may indeed have seen something. Very well, I will head to the Great Work and leave the encampment to you. Where are we? Oh, okay. Fine, then we'll just head over here. Saw the light over at the Biflaw remnants too, did you? We've sent scouts to investigate, but they've yet to report back. We will continue to keep watch here, but if you learn anything, be sure to let us know. These fishermen saw a fiend emerge from the Biflaw remnants before heading north, you say? I saw what I thought was a ball of flame flung from the explosion, but now I wonder. It flew north in the direction of Khadga. If it is in fact a fiend, then we have trouble on our hands. We must remain vigilant. I presume you've come to investigate the explosion at the Biflaw remnants as well. We've yet to ascertain precisely what happened. Is there any information you can share with us? A fiend emerged from the explosion and flew towards Khadga. By the sisters, had I learned of this sooner... Never mind, there's no time to waste. Confound it! We were so concerned with the explosion that we failed to recognize that the threat had not yet passed. We must alert command at once and instruct the people to seek shelter. Is there a way to the top of Khadga? What? You mean to go there to investigate? Then again, you are more than capable of defending yourself. As you wish, we will leave this in your hands. The Giant Skull grounds are situated at the base of Khadga. I myself am not familiar with the mountain paths, but the quarry workers are bound to know many. Ketanur, for instance, he has worked there the longest. Go well, my friend, and may the sisters keep you. There's some for my book and for my nuts log or hunt marks or whatever. Go ahead and take them. Get them knocked out. Oh, that was all I needed. Yay. Ketanur. You want to climb Khadga? You couldn't have chosen a worse time. There was an earthquake earlier and it triggered a rock slide. I'm afraid the main path to the summit may be blocked. But if you're determined to go, then I suggest you speak with Shramul. He climbs like a langur and might know some other way up, if not the gentlest. How to reach the top of Khadga? After what has happened, that should be the last place anyone sane would want to be. But yes, I am familiar with another route that should still be passable. I was once afraid of heights, you see, and used it to build up my courage. Though I cannot say I have the courage to brave it under these conditions. I'll take you to where the route starts, but no further, all right? Let's go.
Hello, can you hear me? We were too late. The vault has been destroyed. The alchemical furnace with it. This was their true objective, to deny us entry into the void. Kanyatso and Ajdaya's eye were a diversion. A means to detain us in Garlemald, while they went to work here. To reduce the vault to rubble. That which you hunt is no ordinary foe. Have care.
Such an exquisite sight. The canvas of vibrant colors. As was our world, too, once.
Are you the one who destroyed the treasure vault?
I am Rubicante, the archfiend of fire. A monster in flesh, yet in spirit I remain a man, a prisoner of the past. Such tears I wept when darkness consumed the world, until Lord Golbez came and spoke of salvation. Thus do I walk proudly at his side, to see his dream fulfilled. Your heart is pure. For benevolent cause you seek the dragon. But I cannot allow you to have it. Cannot allow you to interfere. If you would continue, then there is but one recourse. I shall await you at the summit. Come, mortal. Come and weigh your righteousness against mine.
Oh, a new regular duty. Alright, well, we'll have to get into that. I'm going to go to a more populated data center. That one. Let's see. First of all, I'm running back to Ul'dah for the moment. I got the new body piece. I'm going to put my old dancer piece in the glamour chest now, I think. This one, no, that's weathered. Where was it? That one, I think. Yeah, that's the one. The Etoile. I better see what eye level this is going to need too. Let's see. Well, it looks like I can do it. Where are they at? Average item level 595. All right. We're just over 600 at least, so that's good. Oh, I don't have my glamour prisms out. Let me get them. There they are. Is. Well, I could have sworn I healed everything or mended everything. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, it was at 99%. Probably. Alright, we'll go back and do it now. And while we wait for the queue on that one, we can pop on the Culinarian and make some more purple script collectibles and try working on getting our crafting gear. Alright, there we go. Oh, next, let's put it into the glamour plate that we had set aside here for that set. There we go. And as we replace the other pieces, we'll add that in there. We'll add the rest of them onto that one. There we go. Alright, anyways, let me go ahead and go put us on a short intermission while I change to another data center, and then we'll be right back. And we are back. That's so fast this time of day here in North America. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get that queued up so we can get that underway. No idea what we're up against here, but we'll just see what happens. Yeah, somehow, I don't believe that average wait time of 7 minutes it's got on there, but we'll see. Anyhow, let's see, let's change back over here to Culinarian, and we were making these level 90, got a fair amount of stuff. I need to get me make some more palm sugar, I guess. I need more palm syrup. 6, 9, however many of those, times 3. Do about 30 maybe. Yeah, I guess we could go for about 180 of those, thereabouts. Alright, well this is good stuff we can do while we wait for this queue to pop here. What we got? Scythe. Alright, let's grab that one. Gatherer's Guile 7. Alright. Ooh. And we're at 4 minutes into our queue now. Getting close. Almost got enough here. For the moment anyways. All I'm going to worry about gathering. Right around 180. This ought to do it. All right, let's head back. Let's see, we are at 9 minutes into our queue now. Ooh, there's a tank popped in there, it looks like. Don't know if that's any indication as to whether we're getting close or not. Dang. Culinarians already got their level 90 tools. The latest blue gear. Alright, and let's see, I cannot remember. I never can remember if I've got the right right stuff set up for this. Let's see, can we use this basic macro we've been using? I can't remember. Yep, looks like we might be able to. Should be able to anyways with all that new gear on there. I mean, I was doing this the other day, but, well, that's unfortunate where that excellent fell. But it's still enough. Alright, good. But yeah, I was crafting these the other day, you know, off stream. I just never can remember what works and what doesn't work from session to session. Alright, let's see if we can crank some of these out now. I may have already gotten some of the tools for... I can't remember. I can't remember if I have or not. I'll have to check. That tank's still hanging in there. They must be needing this particular one too. We're at 12.5 minutes now into the queue. last one that we have all materials for. See what we get from all this, and then we'll calculate how many more crafts we should do to get the rest of the tools. It's 500 per tool, I believe. Oh, let's see. Did we get any the other ones? Nope, we did not, I guess. We'll go ahead and get Carpenter then, I guess. Might as well. Yeah, we've got Culinarian so far, and that's the only one. Alright, so we got to get 6 more sets. That's 6,000, or yeah, it's 1,000 per job. So 6,000 purple scripts. $6,000 more purple scripts. Or did we not get the, I think we got the accessories for crafters, didn't we? Yep. Alright. So if we can max out the collectability at 144 each. Here we go. $6,000 divided by 144 is going to put us at 41.666. Alright, so 42 more crafts ought to get us all of our tools. We need to do it 42 more times. And we are at 21 minutes into the queue currently. That tank is still hanging in there. Alright, so 42, we're going to need just a couple more Psychons. We need some more gelatins. It may be cheaper just to buy those instead of making them, getting the fish and the bat wings. I need at least 42 gelatins. Maybe cheap enough to buy the Psychon too, I don't know. I just need a couple. Yeah, I'll go gather those. It'll be cheaper. Teleport will be cheaper. Oh, and I need 42 Ovabos milks. And of course we'll need more palm sugar. Let's see, 42 times 3. $129. Almost half of them still. So if I go collect another... Yeah, about 130-ish or so, I think. We got 3 DPS in there along with our tank so far. We're at 25.5 minutes. You'll keep your fingers crossed. Maybe we'll get it soon. Oh, our 2 DPS that was accompanying us are elsewhere now. But the tank is still there. So I guess those 2 DPS were on a roulette or something. Excuse me. I better get up around 150, I think. That ought to do it. And we're coming up on 30 minutes now on our queue. Must be, am I out of crystals? That seems like an awful small amount. I think I didn't gather enough palm syrup, did I? Oh well. If I was needing to do 3 times 42, I needed 120. I don't know how I miscalculated that. I need 6 for every 3. Oh. $42 times 6. Oh, I needed 240 something. Good Lord. Yeah. I'll just go back and gather some more. I need 129 palm syrups total. To do 42, and 42 times 6, that's 240, 252. Well, I do have 129, don't I? Okay, well, I guess I did calculate correctly. Because I had 63 to start with. Okay. I guess we're okay. Let's see. Yeah, should be all right then. Never mind. Let's see, we are at 37 minutes now. That tank is still hanging in there in this queue with us. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Need to get that hydrate action going here. Thanks for thinking about us and reminding us to drink some water. Hey Lily, let's see, week was been going fine. Been getting into Radiata stories on the off days here. Nothing else really going on, I suppose. I'm trying to think. Supposed to be getting hot again around here, I think. So we're just status quo, I think, at this point. How about yourself? had your yearly review at work. Oh, okay. Reduce your hours and switch to 4-day work week in January. Well, I hope that's working out what you like to do. Then that would be great to have more days that you could spend off. Or at least I would think so, anyways. Still waiting on the information about how your income would change with 34 or 36 instead of 40, but luckily money's not the real issue. Oh, okay. Yeah, value your free time more. Yeah, I feel you on that one. Yeah, I like to have as much free time as I can too. "45 minutes into the queue." Yeah, it's really too bad I can't jump data center anywhere in the world. Jump over to Japan this time of day, although the lag would be killer. I doubt I'd be able to react fast enough for a lot of stuff, but could get to some really populated servers this way if we could do that. To be honest, Friday was never really productive in the office anyway, since the bosses are working from home every Friday. Oh, really? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Be kind of curious to know what their rationale was for that, for the bosses working from home on Fridays. All right, we are almost not full up on inventory space here. I better turn these in here. Yeah, like we can get 2 more pairs, 2.5. Oh, they just don't want to commute for a short work day. Huh, okay. And most of your colleagues work from home on Fridays. Oh, all right. Well, that went to my inventory. Okay, I need to clear up some armory chest space. All right, I better do that, hadn't I? Let's see here. Land Saints Hatchet. I wonder if I can turn any of this stuff in for Grand Company seals. Don't know if it's the same in the US, but in most German companies, Fridays are usually 1 to 2 hours shorter than the other days. I think in theory, here in the US, they're supposed to be the same as any other work day. Although, I mean, I do know, companies sometimes do a little bit less, knowing that everybody's gonna have to be gone over the weekend. Well, there's stuff I can put in there, but there's no weapons, though. Looks like. Some banyaks. Can dump those. Oh, there's another one. Ooh. All right, wait. Alright, dancer. Oh crap. My armory chest. Crap, crap, crap. Yeah. There we go. Almost got it there. Whew. Oh my gosh. I was going to miss that cue because I couldn't change jobs. All right, let's see if we can muddle our way through this one here. Yeah, that would have been a major fail.
You stayed the course, as I knew you would. As too will I. Come!
All right, let's see here.
The Archfiend of Fire has no equal. The glory of fire. Flames to lick at your heels.
happened?
Dark flames to me!
Huh. Oh, that's annoying.
Naught but ash will remain. Dark flames to me!
I don't know where I need to be at all.
Naught but ash will remain.
There. Just follow somebody who looks like they know what they're doing, I guess.
Worthy enough of pride. But will it be enough? I am one with the flame.
Don't be another Happy Mashy, please. Those are just kind of irritating.
You are the first to behold this form.
Really, I feel privileged. Okay.
The flames rise higher. Look now on my essence made pure.
No clue what's going on.
Destruction incarnate.
God, this is brutal.
To ashes with you.
What's he gonna do here?
Flames to lick at your heels.
I really don't know where I'm looking here. I guess we'll try that.
Dark flames to me!
Let's do it again. Somebody? Who's our best DPS there? It's not me, I guarantee you. I hear it going, I hear it going. Alright, that took a little bit off of him. Yay, we made it through. Just one knockout. Whoop, they all left. All right.
It seems I was a step too slow.
To defeat all of us archfiends, you are strong indeed.
What is it that Golbez seeks?
You would know my lord's true purpose. Very well. The knowledge will not change the outcome. Listen then, and learn how all began.
How long has it been since the world was undone? Since light and life gave way to darkness and undeath? Since we were reduced to beasts befouled, squabbling over what scant ether remains? But you are different. You remember who you were, and the paradise for which you fought. That world will never be ours again. But we need not suffer in this purgatory of death and rebirth forever. Join me and together we shall seek the promised land.
There is no hope. No freedom from the wheel. You speak a fantasy.
I speak truth. The Ascian's revelation. There are other worlds than this. Ours is but one of 14. There is no greater proof than the whispers we hear, born of a neighboring reality. A reality to which we may journey if we can but break down the barrier that divides us.
You meant it then. We will take this world as our own. Count me in.
In return for your strength, I offer you opportunity to pursue your own ends in service to a greater cause. A glorious kingdom of light, wherein all may know death's sweet embrace.
And thus did we begin our great work.
You intend to forsake the 13th and conquer the Source?
Just so. Our home is a lost cause. Our only choice to begin anew. In this world, where we may reclaim our mortality.
You served Golbez of your own volition.
As atonement for my failures, I tried to be a hero. Tried to stop the war. But I could not.
So in turn you wage another.
A means to a final end. The wheel of depravity must be broken. Even the most exalted succumb. We eat and deepen the stain upon our souls, until only the hunger remains. Is this to be our fate for all eternity?
I don't know. About this and a great many things. But I do know that it's wrong to damn another to save yourself. Not everything need be a trade. This I learned from the people of this world. Even without a contract, without any expectation of personal gain, they labor for one another. I didn't understand it at first, and perhaps I still don't. But if I'm to achieve something, I'd rather do it their way. Else I am already a hunger-maddened beast.
Perhaps we have indeed surrendered to the hunger after a fashion. Make for our moon. There you will find both Lord Golbez and your dragon.
Why are you telling us this?
to be so viciously slandered. Pride demands I prove my virtue at the last. And perhaps your own will resonate with his, and draw forth that singular jewel which abides deep within his heart. A desire which lies beyond his quest to free us from our purgatory. A desire all his own.
All right, we're back to the normal music now for the zone. My inquiries delayed me. I'm not accustomed to conversation. But I'm glad I arrived in time to speak with Rubicante. As much as I understand his motives, I believe there's a better way. Yours. The future you strive for is one I wish to see. And I want to know why I feel this way, why this fire burns in my breast. And I need to tend to my armory chest here. So I guess I can just desynth a bunch of this stuff that I can't use otherwise. All that blue gear I got for previous levels. That's a Reaper tool. Oh yeah, not using that, am I? I'll keep that. What are we getting there? Tungsten steel ingots for those. Pretty cool. And palladium ingots for those. I can't desynth that one. Nope. And let's get this side over here. Well, if I can hit the right button here. There we go. What's that? Ooh, Kingcraft demi-materia. Nice. Warm sap. Okay. Run out of space here in a minute. A lot of stuff I could descent. All right. Anyhow, let's put this other stuff back in place. All right, and so that'll get us a blacksmith, armor. All right, next time we want to spend some time, we'll pick back up with crafting those collectibles again and get goldsmith, leatherworker, weaver, and alchemist. Not too much more to do on those. And let's sort. Gods revel, lands tremble. There's nothing more for us here. What of Al-Zadal's legacy? Has there been word from Ishtola and the others? I see. Frustrating perhaps, but better that the gate be destroyed than used to unleash more void scent. We should return to Megaduda and rejoin the others. Then let's do that. It is good to see you both returned hale and whole. Your friends arrived not long ago and are already with the satrap. Shall I show you in? Sure.
Thank goodness you're both all right. Unfortunately, we have nothing further to report apart from the loss of the gate. But tell us, how did you fare on the mountain? Golbez aspires to deliver void scent unto the source, where they may die and return to the lifestream to be reborn.
Far be it for me to deny them, but the cost to our people would be beyond unconscionable.
Indeed, void scent themselves are inherently dangerous. Never mind the chaos sure to follow should the barrier twixt our worlds be shattered. 'Twould be naught less than a calamity.
How can we prevent this?
The simplest way would, of course, be to strike at Golbez himself. That said, our task has been rendered rather difficult.
Indeed. Rubicante hath deprived us of a means to cross into the void.
Kenyatso's faint. That was doubtless what he meant when he said his part was done.
Golbez sacrificed 2 archfiends just to stop us. He must need more time to break the barrier to our world.
Then the days ahead will be critical. We must find a way back to the 13th.
We could employ another Atomos, but that approach would only be viable if we found another planar fissure. An unlikely prospect. Better we explore other avenues. If you will excuse my absence, I shall return to Sharlayan to look for information.
By all means. Meanwhile, I shall seek the counsel of our alchemists.
Time is of the essence, so wish me luck.
Good luck.
I'm no scholar. I'll find another way to keep myself busy here.
How about a little training to keep your lance arm honed?
Rest assured, I never shirk my training. I will be ready for whatever awaits.
Zero. May we call upon thee when next we venture unto the 13th.
Aye. And in case you're wondering, I won't ask for further payment. I will go for myself, to try and understand why I spoke the words I said to Rubicante. And the fire I felt within, when you all came to my aid in Garlemald.
While our esteemed sorceress battles her tomes, let us see to our own affairs.
I will not fail you again, sister.
Before you leave, I would once more express my gratitude. By your hand has Thavnair been saved, yet again. But before you delivered my people, you helped me rediscover hope. When the sight of my sister's eye left me bereft and adrift for a time. We may have lost the gate in Alzadal's legacy, but there must be another way to travel to the void, and together we will find it. For now, I bid you rest and recover your strength. I too shall have my vessel improved ahead of our next foray. To achieve his ends, Golbez has sacrificed his 4 generals. Such a ruthless foe is unpredictable in the extreme. But no matter what he plots, we shall do our utmost to see that he does not succeed. Meanwhile, on the moon in the 13th,
Cagnazzo and Rubicante have joined with the Great Flow. In this world, 'tis the ravenous who are useful, and few were as ravenous as they. You were fine pawns, my archfiends, and you have played your parts to perfection. But with the goal in sight, I need no minions to do my bidding. Hereon, I shall walk alone. At long, long last, the end draws nigh. The end to life on that star, and the end to my suffering.
Well, now that looked very, very much like the Zodiac situation on our moon, doesn't it? Hurrying flavor. Oh, I need to take just a brief intermission here. It'll take me just a minute or two, and then I'll be right back. Thank you so much for your patience. We are back, and let's get this going. And 'tis good to see you. Have you any news from old Charlian? We've yet to hear from Ishtola regarding her search for a means to return to the Void. I must confess that her silence has left me feeling restless. Nor am I alone in this. Estinian has such an excess of energy that he has been helping to train our soldiers with nary a grumble. As for Zero, Is something the matter? No, no. Anne paid us a visit, and so I was apprising her of recent developments, or the lack thereof. Are you heading somewhere? Aye, to replenish my ether. Would you like to come? A rare but most welcome invitation. Timely too, I might add. I myself was thinking of venturing out into the city. It would be my pleasure to join you. You will accompany us, of course. Sure. Come then, I've an errand to run at the bazaar first. Right, well let's see how far that is here and where it is. Back up there. Oh my goodness! Check it out! Culture! Thank you so much for bringing in your channel, Culture. I appreciate that. How are you doing today, and how was your stream? 10-hour stream. Oh my gosh. Oh, Bravely Default and Destiny. My goodness. 11 hours. You maniac. I don't know, maybe in my younger days I'd be able to do longer streams like that, but yeah, it sounds fun. Being able to just, you know, hang out and play for that long. I hope it went well. Yeah, I guess you would have to work up to it. Man, I don't know how I would do that. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad it did work out fine. And you must be pretty beat after that, too, I would think. Just what's important to me is that you take care of yourself. So, you know, make sure you do that, Culture. We're happy to have you thinking about us and raiding over here. But by all means, I know you got to take care of yourself. Do whatever you got to do. I'm picking up some more spice. Marie told me to do so before my next visit. Mr. Zero has quite the tolerance, you see. The sisters know we Haunish are fond of spicy food, but I doubt any of us could keep up with her. With just the spices they normally have on hand, the Mayhane can't quite satisfy her, which is why I'm happy to provide what they need to achieve more rigorous flavors. Now then, variety being the spice of life, perhaps you'd like to choose something extra to blend with Mr. Zero's usual. Yeah, thank you for the lurk. We appreciate that, Culture. It'll help to keep things interesting. What do you say? Fine by me. You can appreciate the nuances of this world's sustenance far better than I can, I expect. Alright, well let's see what they've got going on here. Let's select the spice. A colorful array of spices peer out from hempen sacks. No, not the little red husks. Those are going to be super spicy, I think. Aromatic black corns, that would be kind of peppery, I think. Lustrous crimson powder, coarse yellow flakes, I'll pick those. These flakes appear to have been grated from a thick root. Their sharp aroma suggests a bracing flavor. Yeah, I'll select that spice. Ah, that's a fine choice, but don't take my word for it. Here, have a taste. Zero may wish to observe your reaction. It would be considerate to sample the spice in her presence. Okay. I guess I'm in her presence. She's right there, it looks like. Well, okay. There it is, bag of spice. Yum! You tentatively place some of the spice on your tongue. A jolt of fire courses through your entire body. Oh my gosh. Your reaction speaks volumes. That will suffice then. Always a pleasure, Mistress Zero, and do give Merid my regards. Okay.
My usual, please. But with this spice.
Of course, Zero. It would be my pleasure. Well now, this is enough to make a whole kettle of your special curry.
I don't need that much.
Rest assured, it's easy enough to make a serving just for you. Or we could make the kettle and share it. There would be enough not only for your companions but other diners as well. I dare say everyone will be delighted.
Very well. A full kettle, then.
Excellent. We'll prepare it at once. And for your excellency and our esteemed adventurer, are you happy to try a bowl of Zero's curry? We can make yours milder if you prefer.
Grateful though I am for the offer, I cannot fully appreciate the flavor with this vessel. Another time, perhaps. Do not hold back on my account, my friend. Eat and enjoy.
I could have mine a touch milder.
Understood. Please, make yourselves comfortable.
It gladdens me to see you taking to life in Radzathan, Zero. In the area of our cuisine, not least of all. Spicy dishes have long been favored in our sultry clime for their ability to whet the appetite and cool the body. Of course, spices also have the effect of preserving foods, which makes them highly coveted in foreign lands. All of this has given rise to a thriving spice industry, and the wealth it brings has allowed our nation to prosper while maintaining its neutrality.
So you trade your spices? Seems rather more complicated than trading in ether.
In the beginning, this land was no more than refuge for me. But now it is my home, and the people of Radzathan my beloved children. Together, we build this vibrant nation, and naught would please me more than to show it to my sister one day.
Vibrant. Rubicante said the same when he described this world. A reminder of all that has been stolen from us. What many who remember doubtless yearn to take back.
Our home is a lost cause. Our only choice to begin anew. In this world, where we may reclaim our mortality.
Nonetheless, it's wrong to damn another to save yourself. As I told Rubicante, as I found myself moved to speak. I still do not understand what made me feel this way, nor what compels you mortals to help one another. But I hope to someday.
We too hope that you will find the answers you seek.
What is going on?
What's happening?
Compliments of Mistress Zero, the Satrap's honored guest. We are serving a special curry for anyone who wishes to partake. But be warned, it is not for the faint of heart.
Oh, by all means, I'd welcome the challenge.
Sisters have mercy. The smell alone is...
Elephant down.
It burns! It burns!
Human down.
To better maintain the facade, the alchemist ensured that my vessel was capable of consuming food. However, I fear Zero's curry would test the limits of their design.
Apologies for the delay. Please relax and enjoy your meal.
Relax. I don't have time for that. I've been waiting for this. Come. Let's replenish our ether.
Sure, let's do it. Look at everybody on the floor. Oh my gosh. Almost everybody. My whole life flashed before my eyes, and it was exhilarating.
I trust you have eaten your fill. I shall have Marid prepare a meal for us to take to Estinian. I suspect he too is overdue a replenishment. By this hour, he will have retired to his chambers at Magaduta. Come, let us pay him a visit.
Oh, really? Okay. See what's coming up here. Okay. The spicy curry has left you slightly flushed and set your heart racing. Whatever challenges await, you are ready to face them head on and with feeling. All right, speak with the Megaduda attendant. Welcome back. Master Estinian, yes, he has returned to his chambers. I shall be happy to escort you. Proceed to Estinian's chambers. Oh boy.
Estinian, are you there? We've brought something for you.
I enter.
Wow. All right. Doing the one-handed push-ups.
Squid masala from the Mehane. I thought you might enjoy it.
Masala, eh? I prefer my squid dried. But I'm sure it won't disappoint. My thanks. Idle as I am in our sorceress's absence, I see. I can't offer much in the way of entertainment, but make yourselves comfortable.
Shall we disrobe as well?
Oh, thank you for the resub there, Lily, or the sub, I guess. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. I thought there would be some kind of announcement that should have come in there, but I guess it didn't. It should have shown up on screen. I'll have to look at that. But yeah, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that.
No. We simply caught our friend unprepared. He will make himself presentable at once, I am sure.
All right.
At last. We've been looking for you.
My friends, tell me, were you able to devise a way to return to the 13th?
I believe so. It required a visit to the moon, where I took the opportunity to enlist Oriange's assistance.
Ishtola hath told me all. I should be glad to help you free Ashdaya and put an end to Golbez's dark plot.
If Rubicante spoke true, both Golbez and Ashdaya are on the moon of the 13th. Unlike here in the Source, however, we have no means of making the journey from the surface of the star itself. The technology simply does not exist. Therefore, I propose that we employ a gate to deliver us directly to our destination.
Is such a feat possible?
In theory. Having once been a single hole, the Source and its reflections share striking similarities in geography. And according to a certain someone who unceremoniously whisked us away to the first, the same locations across the worlds are intrinsically bound. All of which is to say, were we to pass through a gate on the Source's moon, it should lead us to the moon of the 13th.
That was my thinking too.
Of course, there is the risk of Voidsent gaining entry to our world. Thus did I decide to seek Oriange's counsel.
Both the Watcher and the Loporrits are aware of our proposed endeavor. While they are yet deliberating precautionary measures, they have pledged their full cooperation.
You've been busy. I presume you've also found a way to open this gate.
Be it in Radzat Han or Sharlayan, Scholars have long cast their gaze unto the endless dark of the void. And so, with harnessed insights to augment our knowledge, we have indeed conceived of a promising plan to pierce the veil. A plan I am confident will succeed, precisely because the moon is our stage. The preparations will be extensive, and we will require vast quantities of ether. After all, our gate must be large enough to accommodate another great worm. My proposal entails delivering copious amounts of ether to the Tower of Babel in Garlemald. As you will recall, Fandaniel used the structure to destroy the Brand's imprisoning Zodiac. And we, in like manner, will use it to channel ether to the moon, and thereby open our gate.
I see. Then we shall need someone on the moon for the necessary rituals.
Just so, Your Excellency. I intend to head back anon for that very purpose, as well as to help devise our strategy to deal with invading Voidsent. Along with our lunar allies, we will once again require the assistance of your alchemists, Nidana not least of all. May I trouble you to serve as their escort?
Fine by me. The room was beginning to feel constraining.
For my part, I shall oversee the requisite tasks on the Star. Might I prevail upon you for your assistance?
If all are in agreement, then let us set to work. We'll open our gate, and we will stop Golbez.
The Dark Throne. I guess we're in 6.4 now. And it looks like I must not have set up an event for resubscribe on mine. It's been just over a month since I became eligible to do ads and subscriptions and the whole bit. So I guess that's probably what happened, is there just wasn't anything to trigger. I'll have to get that fixed though. But again, thank you, Lily, for that subscription. It certainly means a lot to us here. Test it again in another month. Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate it. If one and all are ready, then let us set forth our preparations to complete. If I may, I beg a moment to exchange this vessel for its grown counterpart. It is in the keeping of alchemists of the High Crucible. Of course, we shall accompany thee thither, and thence begin our journey. Where is he going to be at? Oh, okay, well, we'll just exit here. Where is he? He's up there. Let's go to the, just go to the main ether. We gotta run upstairs and go to the other one. Never can get my mouse pointed at the right screen. My apologies for the delay. My, that is a striking simulacrum indeed. Well suited to the work ahead, I doubt not. Allow me to explain Ishtola's plan in greater detail. As you know, we seek to open a void gate in Mare Lamentorum that we might gain direct passage to the moon of the 13th. Whilst our comrades labor upon the moon, we must needs accomplish two tasks. The first is the procurement of a substantial quantity of ether and subsequent delivery of it unto the Tower of Babel. Said structure was once used to siphon the land's essence by way of the Telophorois spires. Such a method, however, doth pose an unacceptable risk to the greater ethereal balance of our world. Thus must we seek an alternate means of conveying our requisite resource. Our second task doth pertain to the use of the Tower of Babel itself. You may recall that this portal unto the moon was placed under the supervision of the Ilsabard contingent. If we would employ it to different ends, we must first obtain the contingent's express permission. I should like to believe they would not refuse us, so perhaps we should concern ourselves with the ether problem first. Have you any idea whence we might source the vast quantity needed? Aye, a likely location doth come to mind. Let us make for the airship landing. There I shall reveal more. Oh, we finally got a reason to go to the airship landing in this city. Oh, they don't even have an airship landing location there. Okay, because it's close to another aetherite already here. Let's see, there it is. Oh, it says airship landing right there. I'm used to it being on the bottom in the starter cities, I guess. Anyhow, here we go. Because there's no aetherite there, so they made a special location for it. That's why. All are present and accounted for. Excellent. We shall travel to Sharlayan and then seek the nearby Isle of Ham. Near unto the surface of this isle do rivers of ether converge. The churning energy of this confluence is released by the way of geysers. Originally, the Ragnarok was to be powered by ether harvested from the isle. But, as well you know, an alternate power source was ultimately found for the vessel. Passage unto Ultima Thule, to the very limits of existence, was facilitated by not less than the strength of the Mother Crystal herself. As such, the Isle of Ham's vast ether deposits remain untouched. We may help ourselves to that energy, provided we are able to secure the Forum's permission. Yet again, with needing permission, is nothing straightforward in this world? Such is the nature of politics, I fear. And as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have been officially disbanded, no longer are we a recognized collective. A somewhat disadvantaged position, bureaucratically speaking. Fortunately, however, there is a recognized and respected body upon which we might prevail. The students of Baldesion. upon arriving in Charlian, let us seek our friends at the Annex. Are we magically whisked away? It looks like it. How about that? And just like that. Welcome back, Anne. What brings you here today? And in such colorful company. Greetings, Ojika. On this occasion, we are come to seek the students' assistance in a matter of some urgency. In that case, you'll want to speak with Kryl. She's in the main hall sorting through our archives. There's a visitor with her at the moment, but it's no one you don't know, so feel free to show yourself in. Let's go in. DJ Davis, good to see you again. Welcome.
Well now, if it isn't two of my dearest friends. As for the other two, I don't believe we've had the pleasure.
Not in this vessel, perhaps. 'Tis I, Vashan. Though, you are welcome to call me Vritra, if you prefer.
Pay me no mind. I merely accompany them.
I pray you forgive us our intrusion. If you are occupied, we shall call again anon.
It's quite all right. We've just finished swapping all our secrets anyway. Erenville occasionally comes and shares the latest Gleaner gossip, you see. From forgotten ruins to mysterious relics, if there's aught that might be of interest to the students, he kindly lets us know.
Alas, I must soon depart on an expedition. As I may be away for an extended period, I wish to give Kryl fair warning. Hence my visit today.
I see. There are specimens that want for procuring, I presume?
No, it isn't guildship business, but rather... homecoming. But enough about me. You have business too, yes? And I'm in the way.
Far from it. As a matter of fact, we should be grateful if you could stay and share your knowledge of the nearby isles with us. We seek a means to travel to the Void. There, a man named Golbez plots to invade our world. A man who even now holds my sister hostage.
Oh, and how are you doing today, DJ? Hope everything's going all right with you. Your day getting off to a good start?
To that end, we require a great quantity of ether, which we understand may be had on the Isle of Ham. We came in the hope of exploring how it might best be procured.
An invasion from the 13th? Must the stakes always be so dramatic?
Yeah, seriously.
You have a knack for finding trouble. If Gleaners collected world-ending crises, you could make quite a name for yourself in our profession. It's true the Isle of Ham is a veritable font of ether, but as it's under the Forum's direct jurisdiction, only a privileged few get to set foot there. I myself haven't.
So if we want to help ourselves to the Isle's ether, we'll need to secure the Forum's permission. Very well. The students of Baldessian recognize your endeavors as combating a grave threat to the world. As representative, I hereby pledge our full assistance. Now that it's official, you may leave the politics and paperwork to me. Our operations remain small, but we shouldn't meet any undue resistance.
We are truly grateful.
If I may. According to the original plan for the Exodus, ether collected from the Isle of Harm was to power the Ark. Art thou perchance familiar with the logistics of this endeavor?
I don't know anything about that, I'm afraid. Nor do I think any cleaner would. You might have better luck asking someone involved with the Ark's construction. Margaret, for instance. She's a researcher in Charlie and Hamlet. I met with her for a job recently, and she mentioned working on the Ragnarok's propulsion system. You could do worse than to seek her out while awaiting the forum's verdict.
We may well do just that. Our gratitude for thine advice, and may this threat be but a memory upon thy return.
You're quite welcome. Now then, if you'll excuse me.
I best start drafting our petition. Go on and find your researcher. I'll contact you as soon as we've made progress.
Let us leave matters here to Mistress Kryl, and hie ourselves to Labyrinthos.
Right then, time to put our best foot forward. Oh. A pity you can't tidy yourself. I should have had Ishtola enchant you when I had the chance. And what have we here? Later, Kryl, later. You've work to do.
And we gotta go to Charlie and Hamlet. So far, so good. Was holding off on chatting and having my message on the cutscene. Oh, well, you don't need to worry about that. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate you thinking of everybody else on that. No problem, DJ. It doesn't bother me in the least, but thanks for your thoughts on that. Margaret. Visitors? How delightful. If you require assistance, then ask away. It so happens you've caught me in post-deadline bliss. Forgive us the abruptness of our inquiry, but 'tis our understanding that thou had charge of the Ragnarok's propulsion system. We should like to know how ether harvested at the Isle of Ham was to be stored and transported to the Ark, if the disclosure of such information is permitted. Oh, it's no bother at all. We built special tanks that can store ether just like we use casks to store wine. Simple, really. Simple, but quite brilliant in construction. They rivaled even crystals for etheric capacity. A pity we never got to use them. Ah, how muddled and distant the memory. When Doom's deadline loomed large and we extricated ourselves from a waist-high mire of work only to end up chin-deep in another. I was at one with the world, a conduit of the energies of creation, but now I am truly alive. Who would have thought that sleeping in a bed and eating warm meals could make such a difference? Why, I feel positively functional. I dare say it rivals the thrill of dancing on the knife edge of failure. The blank stares. We are glad for you. Quite. On the subject of ether tanks, do you know what became of them? What did become of them? For the life of me, I can't seem to remember. Oh, but I do remember someone who might remember. He should be back by now. Just look for the fellow wearing an outfit that screams, "I've been on vacation and you haven't." Very well, we shall seek out this conspicuous colleague of thine. Our sincerest gratitude, Margaret. And do look after thyself. Come, let us seek out this individual attired in a manner suggestive of recent furlough. Looks like it's over this way somewhere. All right. Can't go in there. All right. Where's... Oh, there he is. It's Coco Danko. Yep, that looks like vacation attire. The face that launched our teeny tiny toy boat. How have you been, Anne? Able to catch a bit of rest? Well, if I don't know about the ether tanks, who in Beauregard's name would? Born right in me very own workshop they were. A pleasure as always, Master Coco. I trust thy respite proved rejuvenating. And then some, but I won't bore you with the details, at least not without a drink in me. So, why the interest in our little old tanks? Permit me to explain. See, we're going to do a thing, and then we're going to do another thing. I see. Think I've got the long and short of it. It goes without saying, but we all owe you more than we can ever repay. If you need our ether tanks, then they're at your disposal. There's just one problem. You need the Forum's approval to set foot on the Isle of Ham. Were it up to me, you'd be on the next ship out, but that lot can't wipe their arses unless it's in accordance with procedural motions. You may be assured that my backside is immaculate. Whoa. Thaliak's thumping thighs, Master Fortuno, and Scholark Monteshane. What a surprise. Pardon the intrusion, the Forum has deliberated your petition, and we decided to deliver our verdict directly. You have been granted special dispensation to travel to the Isle of Ham for the purposes of etheric extraction, on one condition. On account of its rich deposits of ether, the isle is home to throngs of vicious beasts. We ask that you cull any such creatures you encounter. Well, that sounds like an excuse for a dungeon coming up. That's all. Given the vast amount of ether we seek, I expected a far higher price. Oh, believe me, we do not underestimate the value of what you desire. Nay, we simply owe the students of Baldessian and their esteemed collaborators a debt of gratitude, and we felt that expediting your request was a suitable way to repay it. A debt of gratitude. We have taken the liberty of arranging your passage to the Isle of Ham. Your vessel awaits in Scholar's Harbor. Then I'd better get those ether tanks loaded onto the airship. We'll be ready to take them where you need, assuming it's safe. I shall head back to the annex, but should you need anything else, don't hesitate to call. Hello, cheery captain.
Bound for the Isle of Ham. You look like the ones Master Fortuno told me to expect. If you're ready to depart, then so am I. Just say the word.
The word.
Is something the matter?
I did recruit one other to our party, but he is late to arrive.
Uh-huh.
Forgive me my delay.
Thancred? 'Tis good to see you.
If it isn't Varshan. They do grow up so quickly. Urianger tells me we have a host of exciting new tribulations to face. And you must be Zero. I've heard all about your daring do in Garlemald. A pleasure.
Apart from strengthening our company with his redoubtable skill at arms, Thancred may also serve as a mentor in those matters that trouble thee. I speak of the intangible forces which bring souls together. Thancred is possessed of experience both unique and insightful that I am sure he would gladly share with thee. Thou needst but ask.
Aha, the ether font. Well, I guess I called that one, didn't I? Yeah, Varshan talking to Thancred there. Varshan's like, yeah, I grew up because we needed a tank because you weren't around, so I had to do something. Duty support. Let's see what we got available here. Oh my gosh, I can't get into this one. I need more gear. Ah! Need more gear. Alright. Let's see what we're gonna do about that. I'll pull it on back over to Ul'dah for now. Oh, you know what I meant to do? I wanted to check my... I've got some nuts I might be able to trade in for some gear. Not sure. Alright, well, I've got a body piece that is currently, what was that body piece? That's currently 605. Yeah. Good lord. Let's see. 640. Oh, that's 640 earrings. 640. Those are 640. That one's 605. 575, 560. Yeah, I got to replace this blue gear if I could do that. Head, hands, and legs. That would be enough, probably. How much is this stuff? Nah. What about the Renashada gear? That's 610. I can make that too if I get the materials. Yeah, those are cheap. Yeah, let's just throw some of that on us. How much is that one? That's too expensive. I'm not going to buy that. That's too low. Alright. How much? Still too much. And that's too much. And where did it go? It went to my inventory because I need to clear out my armory chest, of course. I've got pants and feet are full too. Arrgh. We're at 606. Haha, that'll do it. Alright, let's see. Who all can we put in here? Well, I see Varshan is like a multi-talent. He can fill any role, I guess. What we've got's good, I like that. Thancred, Urianger, and Zero. Well, let's see if we can manage to get through this one. The super dark screen with Radiata. Not really, but I found out I could display it on my big screen that I've got here and mess with the brightness and the contrast a little bit there. However, the way it was it's going to look dark on stream regardless unless I mess with the capture card settings like I did yesterday. But on my smaller monitor here, my good one, my good 27-inch monitor or whatever this is, it was looking okay. I checked it out this morning and it looked like it was all right. For me anyways, I can deal with it. It just might be pretty dark on screen, I think. On stream, I should say. let's see, tried switching between game capture versus window capture. Oh, well, see, it's not on the PC, Lily. We were talking about one that I've got. I'm playing directly off the PS2, so it goes to a game capture device, which I then use as a video source into Streamlabs OBS. And yeah, no, I'm not doing emulation on that one. I mean, I guess I could, but you know, I've got my PS1, my PS2, PS3, and the PS4 all set up. And the Xbox, of course, too. Set up on an HDMI switcher that goes into a capture card, and as well as to my big screen TV and a smaller monitor here, so I can play any of the original hardwares that I've got on stream if I want to. So yeah, I've just been playing the regular PS2, hoping it doesn't break down. Of course, if the PS2 craps out on me, then of course I guess I will have no choice but to emulate or bring out the PS3, since I've got both the fat one, which can emulate PS2 and PS1 I think as well, and I've got a thin PS3 which won't do that. But yeah, I've got options at least, so we're good to go. Yeah, and the software or the driver for the capture card on the PC does have brightness and contrast, which is what I was adjusting for the stream, anyways. So yeah, there's ways to lighten it up a bit. It's just I'm surprised it doesn't lighten it up much. So I think the darkness, they just have a lot of true black in there. Yeah, if you have the inclination, check us out tomorrow morning. We'll be doing more Radiata stories. Oh yeah, no, you know, I did think about this. I understand what you mean too, I think, Lily, about just adding a filter to the game source somehow. Yeah, I probably should look into that as well. That's a good idea, and I come to think of it, I thought about it yesterday, but didn't want to take the time during the stream because I've got to switch around to different folders and scenes and stuff to get the stuff looking right. So yeah, I need to make a note of that. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, if I can just throw a OBS filter on the source somehow to compensate for that a little bit, that might help as well. Source filter for game capture. For game capture source. That is an excellent idea. Zero's really getting into it here.
Be gone!
Sliding down. Whoa, that's an interesting looking beast there. Up sweep, what's that gonna do? They've kind of gotten in the habit of throwing in a arena-wide AoE. Like right there at the beginning. Body slam. Another up sweep.
You!
You're mine!
Another up sweep. The ice shards begin to resonate. They're gonna explode or something? I guess so. To get off of everybody there. Dang, Moriarty almost hit the big one there. Whoops. Am I gonna make it? Not quite. Oh my gosh. No, I wasn't. Thank you for the heal, buddy. I appreciate that very much.
You're mine!
Oh no, I don't know where I am. I'm gonna die. Yeah. I totally lost it there. Totally lost it. Oh my gosh. Alright, time to focus. telegraphing that title breath. I'll have to watch that. Body slam. Another up sweep. Yeah, and then those things we're going to have to watch what they do. Okay. Especially when they get to these bigger piles of like that. Yeah. There goes that tidal breath again. And he's going to drop the stuff again. Body slam. Yep, causes those things to go down. Where is everybody? There they are. Oh my gosh. Nope, I didn't make it again. Dang it! Come on. Alright, I'm gonna stop using my skills and just follow people. I can't get the hang of this very quickly. Follow the NPCs. That does not bode well if I can't make it through even the first boss of this one. All right. All right. Yeah, thank you, DJ. Have a great day yourself. And thank you for thinking about us and stopping by here today. Take care. Tidal breath. Saw that one.
Together we shall overcome.
That's far enough.
Do another up sweep. Holy crap, I didn't get out of that? Are you kidding me? There isn't much room for error on my part here. Timing on that is pretty tight for me.
Make ready!
And I need a heal, but I'm not going to get it. Yep, I don't have any heal available. Oh my gosh. So, let me just save my heals for the stack, I guess. Because it didn't come back fast enough. I will have to save a heal for the stack, because I'm going to be damaged going into that stack, it looks like. Of course, I could have just stayed outside of it, maybe. But Ariange probably would have gotten knocked out if I hadn't been in there. That's some slapping bass on this song. I love it.
This will hurt.
Another body slam. Okay. Up sweep. Where are we going, folks? And there we go. Let's get out of here. Alright, now let's zap. Ooh, tidal breath. Get away! Oh. That was close. Body slam again. Up sweep again. Follow the crowd.
Try and stop me!
Whoops. Missed it again. Oh god, I got lucky. Oh my god. I don't suppose he can heal me fast enough. Getting there. Thank you, Ariange. Wow, this is brutal. Body slam.
You're mine!
Another up sweep. Where are we going, folks? Over here. Out of their tidal breath. Almost. Don't mess it up now. Don't mess it up now. There we go. Got through it. Phew. Oh my gosh. Gosh, I hope the others aren't anywhere near that brutal for me. Oh my gosh. Oh. If they're worse than that one, then I don't know. may have to stop for the day if I can't get through the others any better than that one. Treasure coffer. A ring of healing. No.
Together we shall overcome this.
Make ready! You're mine!
Man, this looks amazingly like, sort of like Elpis too. A little bit. There's a coffer. Wow, what pretty looking golems. Crystal, multicolored crystal golems. Those look nice. Shelter of Slaying, no. And we haven't picked up anything that we can use yet.
This will hurt.
Go and see what number 2 boss has in store for us. Whew. All right, let's see here.
will hurt.
Battle cry. There's that AoE. Yeah. Arena-wide AoE. Oh, interesting.
Darkness, take you!
Okay. Kinda interesting. Ripple.
You're mine! Be gone!
Oh crap. There we go. This will give us enough time to get out of that, I think. Got him. Alright. Gloves of scouting. That's for ninja, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Still haven't gotten any gear that we can wear. That second one was not bad. Not nearly as bad as that first one for me.
all mine!
Alrighty then. Materia. Quickly filling up our inventory here. Okay. There we go. Not missing a chest here, am I? There's one up there. Mapping the realm. We are there. Okay. Let's switch to the big screen here. Lumbering Scourge, Octomammoth. Octomammoth, isn't that what you catch in Limsa Lominsa? Catch the Octomammoth. to level 50. You can desynth it for some fashion, as I recall, too. That's cool. Maybe if we take down Octomammoth here, he'll give us something nice. But please let him be at least as easy as that second one was. Zoop. Tidal Roar, that must be the AoE, yep, right on cue. Octo Stroke. Follow the bouncing NPCs. Sorry about that. Guess I screwed that one up, didn't I? Did not find an appropriate spot to go. Dang it. I knew it. Gonna leave it right at the last one because I can't get to a safe spot fast enough. Alright. Come on, I had that. Then my controller, I hit the lock target button. That really screwed me over. Come on, I can get through that. I can get through that. Kind of like those slides, make it kind of fun getting down there. Seeing a spot to go to, but it happens to be the same spot somebody else is going to, and I just don't know which one to take. Oh well. We'll just keep trying, I guess. Not this close.
Together we shall overcome this.
Yeah, same spot again will be good. Alright. That'll be a good spot. Almost got it. Come on, come on, come on.
That's far enough.
He's done. Yes. Got it. Yes. We made it. Whew. Well, that feels good. And let's see what we get here. We got some more tombstones. Defending goes into our inventory because, of course, we haven't cleared out our pants slots, or our hand slots, or our foot slots.
Much obliged for clearing the way. We'll get to work at once. Filling these up will take a good while. I appreciate it if you stood watch till we finished. I ain't getting chewed to chum by some ether-bloated bugger. Oh, by the by, where were you planning on putting these to use? We could deliver them by airship, see? Provided it ain't too far.
We would need them transported to Galemu, to the Tower of Babel.
Ah, that's a long old journey. Too long for a direct flight. Tell you what, we'll send them over with the scheduled shipment of provisions headed that way. I'll make the arrangements as soon as we get back. Save some poor chocobos having to drag this lot through the snow.
You have our thanks. We shall not forget your generosity.
Everything seems to be proceeding apace. I dare say you would have been fine without me.
Why would you say such a thing? You are not bound by contract or the threat of force, and you gain no advantage by devaluing your own contribution. Yet you must be bound by something to speak thus. What is it?
What binds me? A belief, I suppose. Born of our shared struggles. No matter where my comrades go, I have faith they will be fine. For I know that they will walk their chosen path as surely as I walk mine. I trust them, in short. Trite though it may sound.
Trust. I remember the word. How long has it been since last I used it? It had no place in my dealings. Not with other Voidsent, and certainly not with Xenos. Not even in the time before darkness engulfed the world. Full often did Memoriates betray their own, corrupted by the very power they wielded. You could trust no one but yourself. Alone we fought, and alone we fell. I wouldn't know How to trust? Is there some trick to it?
Just stay close to this one. You'll learn in no time. I'm absolutely fine.
I confess I thought thou mightst have more words of counsel to offer.
Oh, she'll soon get the hang of it, even without my help. After our work here is done, I'll see myself back to the shadows. But before that, I take it you've heard as well.
Indeed. The client seeketh Archons, and 'twould seem our extensive travels and neutrality make us prime candidates.
Well, assuming we take on the request, I suspect I'll be stuck with you again. Don't let me down, hmm?
And we're back in Charlian. All right. Yeah. To not only allow us use of the tanks, but to arrange their transportation to guard them all besides. Blessed are we to count Kokol among our allies. Unto thee we must also give thanks, Thancred, for coming to our aid on such short notice. Please, you know I'm always happy to help. Don't hesitate to call on me again. Till next time. Like fear to flame. With the tank's transportation thus arranged, our first task is complete. We may now turn our attention to the second. To wit, obtaining the blessing of the Ilsabard contingent to use the Tower of Babel to channel energy unto the moon. Our destination is Camp Broken Glass, where we may present our petition to Commander Lucia. And this is as good a place as any to leave it for today, I think. We'll pick back up Saturday morning with what's left of the patches here. See how far we get on Saturday. Tomorrow we'll be doing Radiata stories. So look forward to playing some more of that. That's been interesting so far. That'll be day 4 of our Radiata stories foray. So hope you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be in the world, and we'll look for you another time. Thank you, Lily. Hope you have a great day as well. Bye-bye.